Hello and welcome to Tarot Thursday. I'm your host, Reverend Mary Hawk, and with me is Reverend Don.
Hello.
And welcome everyone.
Welcome, everyone.
So, and I'm sure everyone is just as hot as we are, at least if you are in the US.
It's also true, I believe, outside of the U.S.
Depending on where you are. If you're in
Yeah.
the southern hemisphere, it's cold. And frankly, I envy you.
I'm of the point of view that I'd rather it was 100 than 32. So,
Right now, I would take the 32. I would rather be cold than hot, but that's me.
I
Although,
was talking with someone the other day, and they basically said what my own feeling is that back in the winter, I was um, greatly looking forward to warm weather, so I'm not going to complain about it now, and I'll just look forward to the cold weather I know perfectly well is coming.
and there it is. It is a cycle. I was once fussing about how cold weather irritates my arthritis, but warm weather makes me sweaty and brings about the pollen that irritates my allergies. And my husband looks at me and says, "You don't like weather," in his dry, deadpan way.
Yeah, basically.
So, so welcome everyone as you're coming in. If you have a question for us, go ahead and post it in chat. And Renee, hello, Renee, has asked us for a reading about prosperity.
Yes, indeed. Hello, Renee. Okay.
Okay, Renee. Go ahead if you're ready.
Okay. Well, I have had two escapees, and I have drawn three cards. The three cards I have drawn are the Seven of Coins, the Six of Coins, and the Ten of Wands. And I'm going to read these as considering the options for the future, really debating how to go forward, learning new things, creating new pathways, getting help from the universe, getting assistance from another person, not dealing with the situation alone, and the situation about to improve but not quite there yet. So the Ten of Wands to me says the current situation is going to pass. Next situation is not quite ready. The two cards that escaped, first one is Justice, which is getting back what you put into it. Second one is the Princess of Coins, which is holding back. And what it says is that it's going to be very important to move forward with the things that you can do for your prosperity. The situation is going to break and improve, and you'll have help from outside. So I would say things are looking good for the future, but do make sure that you do what you can do to bring it about. And there you go.
So the first card I've got for you is the Ace of Pentacles, the aces being the essence of the suit. So basically, you have prosperity around you. I also have the Six of Pentacles. So this is really saying that help is coming. I have the Eight of Cups. So whatever it is you are afraid of, it is more imagined than real. So face that. And I would also say take a realistic look at your financial situation and look at head on and make a realistic budget. So I hope you find that helpful, Renee. And
Yes.
hello, Fernanda, and welcome.
Hello, Fernanda.
And hello to everyone else. I see some other people have just joined us. So if you have questions, please go ahead and put them in chat. And I hope everyone is staying cool. Stay hydrated.
Stay hydrated.
Remember, you should drink 2 cups of water for every cup of a caffeinated drink right now.
I don't think I can drink that much water.
This is what my doctor told me.
And hello to Kayleen in the chat room.
Hi, Kayleen. Good to see you.
Oh,
You are welcome, Renee. I'm glad they were helpful.
yes, indeed. Thank you, Renee. So I have my cup of coffee here and my cup of water here. So everything is fine.
I had my coffee earlier and I've now moved on to my giant cup of witchy water. I'm kind of sad that my friend who made this cup had to go out of business.
Aw, that is very sad.
Hi, Anissa. Anissa says there's something about summer that makes me want to make goals, join committees, and travel. That sounds wonderful.
Yes, indeed.
Fernanda says I drink lots of water, and Reverend Jedi says hello.
Hello, hello.
Kylene says we're staying cool, but Kylene is in Australia. Fernanda says I love coffee. I can't have it at night. Fernanda, one of my favorite memories is hanging out with a couple of friends of mine, and one of them offered coffee. I declined because it was about 7, 8 o'clock, and I said I can't drink it this late because I have to get up and go to work in the morning. And my other friend said I burned out my coffee receptors in the 60s. Caffeine does nothing for me, but I love the flavor. I'll have a cup.
I found I became more sensitive to coffee at night in recent years, but I can still have some. So I just have to be careful how much I'm having.
Yes.
At one time, it didn't bother me at all, but that has to do with youth. Oh,
Well, Kylene asked, would it be appropriate to get a reading for the upcoming Pagan World Congress?
I would think we can do that.
Yes, and we'll be hosting that October 9th through the 13th. So watch all our channels for more information. More
It'll
to
be
come
quite an exciting
shortly.
event. Yes. Okay, well, let us do a reading for that.
Kylene has a wake up coffee in the morning and a go to sleep coffee in the evening. I drink coffee till about 1 and I switch over to water. Flavored water, but still water.
Okay. Here we go. Draw some cards now.
As ever so in our projects, we must use our resources carefully. Things are in a bit of a holding pattern as we get everything ready right now, but we will be launching way more soon. And we must plan things carefully.
Well,
But we
that's
will
good
be
advice.
launching shortly. I don't think I see anything unusual here.
I have drawn the Three of Wands, which is achieving something that you've worked for, community celebration, moving forward. The Seven of Coins, which is considering options for the future, considering different ways of doing things, considering how to go about things, which is, in fact, an ongoing process. And Temperance, which is making new things out of old things. And it's kind of saying, in my mind, that this will lead to new ways of looking at things that have been there for a while, but new realizations. I'm going to draw one more card because, of course, I am.
Of course you are.
And I've drawn the Four of Lamps. And the Four of Lamps is looking for answers, which, in a manner of speaking, is what the whole Congress is about.
Yeah, we
Looking
are
for answers
calling...
of how to go forward.
Yes. I'm tempted to say I pulled the practical reading and you pulled the spiritual reading.
Well, that kind of reflects our roles, I think. So,
It really does.
So that's very appropriate. And Anissa asks if anyone has a recipe for mead, as they have become caffeine sensitive and cannot have coffee after 2 p.m. I do not have a recipe for mead, but I've had some very good mead in my time. The best mead I've ever had, I got at the Three Gates Festival from a person there who makes mead, and it was jalapeno flavored mead.
Ooh.
Yeah. And you'd think this would be very sharp and bitey, but it was actually incredibly smooth. Was very well done. And probably the best mead I've ever had.
You are welcome, Kylie.
Yes,
I have had
indeed.
some excellent meads over the years. I have never attempted to make it because I really do not have space to devote to mead making. My best mead story is when my sister and I went to the Southern Mysteries Festival. Is that the
Mm-hmm.
right word for it? In Atlanta? Mystic South. And
Ah,
there was a get to know you party on Friday night. There was a guy in the hospitality suit. There was a guy bartending, and he gave us each shots of mead, and we were talking about it, how great it was. And the guy said, "Oh, well, I made this kind." And he kept pulling bottles of mead out from under the counter and like, "Would you ladies like to try this and this and this?" And well, it was excellent that we were staying in the hotel and had not taken a Airbnb as we had discussed because no one was fit to drive home.
yeah. And Fernanda would like a reading.
Okay, Fernanda, we'll be happy to do a reading for you. Hello, Wendy. We'll get to you in just a minute. And Reverend Don has had a major escapee.
Oh, yes. Now I had 2 escapees again. Had to retrieve them from their place of refuge. Ooh.
All right. You can go if you're ready.
Okay, so the first card I've drawn is Body. And I'm going to take this to say, Fernanda, it's very important to take care of yourself at this time, to do your self-care, to make sure you're getting the things that you need to take care of your health and your happiness. Do not look for anyone else to do this. Do it yourself. With that, we have the King of Swords, which is good judgment. And it says you may have some decisions to make, but you should trust your judgment. You're making good decisions, and you should listen to yourself and do what you know to be right. And then we have the Queen of Coins, which is money. So I think what you're going to find is that you're going to find yourself in a prosperous period, provided that you listen to your own judgment and follow your own lead, and also that you take proper care of yourself. If you do that, I think you'll find yourself in a pretty plentiful period. Now, we have 2 escapees also. That's the 3 of Coins and Past. The 3 of Coins is prosperity, good fortune, being well established in your situation, mastery of craft. Goes right along with what I was saying. Trust yourself, you'll be in a good position. The Past says at the same time, make sure you learn from your experiences. Look at your past experiences and apply what they taught you to your present experience, and everything will be that much better. But overall, it looks pretty good and pretty prosperous to me. So there you go.
Okay. So I have got the 5 of Swords. So you are dealing with some kind of conflict, or you are feeling conflicted about your situation. I have the 10 of Lamps, and this card is telling you that you need to work together with others. I have the Prince of Lamps, and when this card comes up, it means that there is something you're working towards, which is not going to be the best goal for you. So I'm going to pull one more card, and I've got Justice. So you are going to receive something you have been working towards. So I hope you find that helpful.
Yay.
And then Wendy has asked for a reading. And then after Wendy's reading, we're going to pause for a word from our sponsors.
Why?
Because we love our sponsors. Fernanda says it all makes sense. Thanks very much. And you are very welcome.
Absolutely.
So, first card I've got for you is Strength. So, yes, you can deal with it. Even if you think you can't, you are strong enough to handle the situation. Then I've got the 9 of Cups. This is the wish card. So, whatever you are focusing on, you're going to receive. So, be careful what you are bringing into your life. If you are focusing on a goal that you want for yourself, you're going to get there. If you are thinking, woe is me, nothing good is ever going to happen, you're going to get that too. So be mindful of your thoughts and where your focus are or is, because whatever you're focusing on, that is exactly what will happen. And the third card I have for you is Mind. And I just love this card. Her hair is done up in the infinity symbol, showing infinite possibilities. But this card is also saying you need to investigate your situation. There's something there you're not aware of. So take a long, hard look and find what you're missing.
And I had no escapees this time.
Wow.
But I did draw 3 cards. The first one is the 8 of Wands, followed by the Princess of Coins, followed by the Princess of Swords. So the first card, the 8 of Cups, is worry or fear about certain situations. And I don't know if you can quite see the picture. I'll try to get it on the camera. But it shows a man who is being frightened by phantoms. And that's very important, because what it's saying is that what you might find yourself worried about is not nearly as bad as it seems, might even be completely imaginary. So if you find yourself worried about something, you find yourself feeling oppressed by something or pushed into a corner by something, take a harder look at it. You may find it's not what you thought it was at all. With that, we have the Princess of Coins, which says that the keys to your situation are in your hand. You just have to use them and also realize they're in your hand. This is the card of having everything you need, but for whatever reason, holding back from doing it. So do not hold back when you know what to do. As soon as you know what to do, advance. Do what you know you need to do. But do it carefully. The Princess of Swords is careful communication. So that means that when you know what you need to do, you want to do it, but make sure that you do it in a cautious and careful manner. Make sure that what needs to be said gets said, and make sure that what perhaps might be better left unsaid is left unsaid. Use diplomacy. Use caution. Use reason. And if you do that, let's just draw a little Brian card for outcome. If you do that, it'll bring a lot of changes, and I'll assume they're good changes from the rest of the reading. If you do what you know you need to do, when you see what it is and you do it carefully, you'll be able to overcome and change whatever it is that you're afraid of in the situation. And there you go.
Okay. And Anissa, I see your question. We will be with you as soon as we have a word from our sponsors.
Ready to unlock the secrets of the universe? Join me, Reverend Don Lewis, for my metaphysical and magic auctions at Gaia Thrift at whatnot.com. Discover fascinating artifacts, mystical crystals, and rare and unusual books. that could change your life. Don't miss this chance to bring a little magic into your world. Reverend Don's Metaphysical and Magic Auctions, where the extraordinary can become yours.
And we're back. Fernanda, Pagan World Congress is not going to be broadcast on YouTube. We are working on our platform. It is probably going to be Zoom or something similar. We'll be having more information on registering for it shortly.
Yes, indeed.
And Anissa says, I know June usually has a buildup of masculine energy. Is there a future opportunity to make new friends within the next 3 to 4 months? All right. Let's see what the cards have to say. You are welcome, Fernanda.
Okay.
You want to go?
I can go first. So, the way I would take the cards I have drawn, and I have drawn the Queen of Swords, the Nine of Lamps, and the Emperor, is the old saying, wherever you go, there you are. So, to the question, will there be an opportunity to make new friends in the next 3 to 4 months? I think the answer is yes, but it'll be as it usually is. Queen of Swords is past influences, past situations, learning from the past. And in a question like this, I would say what she says is that you can kind of look to the past to tell you what to expect in the future. We also have the Nine of Lamps. The Nine of Lamps is personal excellence, personal being in a good personal situation, and assuming that we're looking for the opportunity for new friends, I would say that opportunity will absolutely be there, but it will have to do with past experience. And then the Emperor says, well, these things are all cycles. They go up, they come down, they come down, they go back up. So yeah, I think the opportunity will be there. And yeah, it will be it'll be there within a cyclical nature. It comes and goes. With that, we also have the Three of Coins, which I drew for the Brian card. And the Three of Coins is personal achievement, being in a good, solid situation. So I would say, if that is your goal, then yes, I think you will have that. And there you go.
Okay, I've got the Princess of Cups, cups being around emotion. Princesses frequently tend to hold themselves back. So you can't do that if you want to meet people. You have to take opportunities as they present themselves. We have the Chariot, which indicates movement. But again, you have to take the opportunity. We have the Princess of Lamps. So again, you're going to have to take the initiative, make opportunities for yourself, look for opportunities, use a little magic. But You're going to have to create this for yourself if you want it to happen. You know, new friends are not going to pop up at your front door and say, "Hi, how are you?" You're going to have to do something where you have the opportunity to meet new people. And does anyone else have a question for us?
Questions, questions.
Questions,
Anyone have a
questions?
question?
Here in Nashville, we have the Pride Parade this weekend, Saturday, and Nashville Pagan Pride will be in the Nashville Pride Parade.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that, and I hope the rain holds off.
Yeah.
I would rather not be on the float waving, getting wet.
We can always take a nice rainbow umbrella.
You know, my umbrellas are black. Don't have a rainbow umbrella. It's an oversight. I did buy 3 bubble guns for the grandkids.
Oh, very cool.
Mine too, and Lucy's. Hey, Magical Mermaid, good to see you.
Hello,
So the
Magical Mermaid.
can shoot bubbles at the crowds. We're not allowed to throw anything off the floats. We can hand things to the crowd, but when we tried passing out candy, my youngest grandkid kept giving us heart attacks, disappearing into the crowd because she saw another child who needed a piece of candy. So she will be firmly on the trailer, waving and blowing bubbles.
Yes. I'm sure that sounds like a lot of fun.
It will be. Magical Mermaid says Mary Poppins was a secret pansexual. Okay.
She, I can believe that.
All right. Actually, from the books, the character I was the most intrigued by was the lady whose fingers were actually made of gingerbread.
Oh, I have never read the book, so I wasn't aware of that.
Yes. Mary Poppins took the kids to meet this lady. She broke off 2 of her fingers, gave one to each of them, and said, "Try them." And they were made of gingerbread, and when they looked at her again, they'd grown back.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Oh no, I just received a message that I think was supposed to have come to me at 1 o'clock this afternoon.
Ah, the wonders of technology.
Indeed.
I have occasionally gotten those. So, does anyone else have a question? Yes, P.L. Travers wrote several books about Mary Poppins and the Banks children. They are very interesting fairy tales.
The other magical nanny is Nanny McPhee. I don't know if you're familiar with that one. It
I have heard of I never read the books.
I'm not certain. There was a movie made based on those books, and I
Right.
think the name in the books is different from the name in the movie. But it had a very
Right.
interesting premise that the nanny, when she first came to live with them, was just horrible looking and very off-putting. And the more they got to know her, the more beautiful she became, which I've always thought was a very interesting metaphor for getting to know a person and seeing their inner beauty. I've never read the
Hey,
book, so I don't know if it comes across as well as it seems like it could, but it kind of did in the movie. I thought it was a very clever way of addressing that.
I like that.
Oh, and Magical Mermaid says, "Yes, we love Nanny McPhee. Yes, indeed."
Okay, well, does anyone else have a question for us? Going once? Going twice? Going 3 times?
And Magical Mermaid says, "Oh,
And
Magical Mermaid says,
Kylene said, not a question, but don't forget to click like. Yes, please do click like on the channel you are watching on.
mm-hmm. And also subscribe if you're watching on YouTube."
Yes, please do subscribe.
And Magical Mermaid observes that there were 2 Nanny McPhee movies. And yeah, they were very, very interesting.
I did not see them.
Um, in the first one, Angela Lansbury portrays the aunt, if I remember correctly. And I know the actress who portrays Nanny McPhee, but I cannot think of her name. But she's strongly associated with Angela Lansbury. So
Hmm.
it was a very nice family type of movie.
I suspect that came out in the time period between my daughter getting too old for that and having grandkids.
Yep, it most likely did. I only know about it because it happened to show somewhere I was where I could see it. Emma Thompson. Emma Thompson.
Thompson,
Thank
says
you, Kaylee.
Kylie. Thank you.
Wonderful actress, closely associated with Angela Lansbury. I always think of the two of them together because Angela Lansbury, I guess, was a bit of a mentor to her. And they have a certain tendency to similar kinds of roles, which is, I think, very interesting. Um, I love film, but I don't watch film very often anymore because I often find I don't have the time. But so if you want to talk about old film, I'm usually quite well informed about it. But if you want to talk about modern film, I'm usually not. But I can tell you all about Peter Lorre.
Are the Labubu dolls inspired by elemental spirits?
We can draw some cards and see.
I have no idea what Labubu dolls are, so, but I don't mind drawing some cards on the subject.
Okay. So I have Shar on the phone, and Shar is watching the program apparently, but finds that she's not able to comment. So after we do
What
the
channel
question,
is she watching on?
Shar, what channel are you watching on? And it was she who was just calling me.
Yes.
So I'm going to ask her if she has a question. So, on to the Labubu dolls. Oh, they're the latest toy fad. Ooh.
Beanie Babies. Well, I have the Hierophant.
Me too.
I have the Soul. And I got the Six of Lamps. I'm inclined to say yes.
I also have the Hierophant. I have the Hermit. And I have the Four of Swords. But I'm still inclined to say yes. The Hierophant is spiritual guidance. The Hermit is being spiritually connected. So yeah, I would say yes. With the Four of Swords, I would say not necessarily everyone involved is fully aware of it, but I would say that yes, that inspiration is absolutely there.
Yeah, we got spiritual guidance. We have Mother Earth sending her child out to begin learning lessons. And here, the little literal meaning is Lady Chalk Ek meeting one of her spirit guides. This is
Yep.
literally what you drew on the card. So I'm going to say yes.
And Shar has informed me that she has a question and would like a reading. And the question is, are any good things coming her way?
Okay, what channel is she watching on? Has she told you?
What? It might be on my personal page because I've noticed some time ago that things on that page don't show up in the chat room.
Yeah, if it's on our personal pages, it's not going to show in the chat room. And well, I put it there because we both have a lot of followers.
Absolutely.
So, but they can't participate.
Magical Mermaid says, I will post the spiritual being people are saying it's inspired by, possibly. Cool.
Okay. Yeah, it's only the group page, like,
Oh, she's watching your personal page.
oh. Okay. Yeah. Personal pages do not show up in the chat. And I've gone back and forth on using them, but we both have so many followers, it seems.
Okay, so our question is anything good coming for Shar? So,
All right. Well, my first card is the Magus. So,
that would be pretty
one,
good.
you have the ability to manifest what you want, Char. I have the Eight of Swords, so you have been feeling stuck. You're kind of in a holding pattern. I have the Four of Lamps, which suggests you need to gain some more information about your situation before acting. So I drew a Brian card and I got Justice, which suggests that you have a situation that is going to wind up in your favor.
And I have drawn the Ace of Coins, the Queen of Coins, and the Princess of Cups. The Ace of Coins is money and prosperity. So, to the question, is anything good coming? Yeah, prosperity. Good stuff. Followed by the Queen of Coins, which is also money and prosperity. Having enough for yourself and enough to share with others. So I would say that I would look for this to be the start of a fairly prosperous period. Followed by the Princess of Cups. The Princess of Cups is emotionality. So I would say that lots of good things are coming, but make sure you don't feel a little overwhelmed by them. Make sure that you keep yourself balanced. Make sure that you stay well grounded. And with that, I think everything will be great. And let me see what our Brian card has to say. And for the Brian card, I've drawn the mind. And the mind says, well, since we're just talking about emotions, the Brian card says, trust your mind and look at things practically as you're dealing with everything, and you'll find everything will be good. And there you go. Yay.
Hope that is helpful.
Yes, indeed.
And back to the Labubu dolls. People are saying they were inspired by Pazuzu, son of the god Hanbi. He is supposed to be regarded as evil. Excuse me.
Well,
But amulets bearing his image have been used for protection from pestilence and to protect infants.
that's my understanding, that he was a deity associated ultimately with protection. And the idea of his being evil is basically a Judeo Christian type of thing, particularly because they decided to use him in The Exorcist. Now, The Exorcist, as we all know, was based on a true story, which it barely resembles. Oh, and Shar says, thank you so much. Thank you, Shar.
Thank you, Shar. And in general, pagan deities are not evil. That is an Abrahamic religious outlook on things. Pagan deities can represent the dark cycle, which can be death and inversion and chaos, but that is just the other half of order and life.
And we have to remember that in ancient times, the medicine was not nearly as well developed as it is now. And so deities to protect against illness were very important. And Magical Mermaid says, so maybe a pagan elemental. Yeah.
And death is not a negative. Death is a fact of life.
Yes. Now, having said that, I find myself very, very curious about Labubu dolls now. I'll have to look them up after the show.
Okay, well, I'm sorry, folks. Give me just a minute here. Because since someone just said they're scary looking Labubu doll.
Yeah, Maria said they were scary looking.
I don't think they're scary. They kind of have big eyes, big ears. They sort of look like rabbits to me. And I'm sort of surprised neither of my grandkids have asked for any. On the other hand, their birthdays are in August. So, yeah.
Oh, there you go. Oh, I see why. Yeah, the look on their face is a little scary, but they obviously have something to do with anime also. They're very much in the anime style.
They are.
Very cool.
Yes.
Magical Mermaid says, I think they're cute, and I think they have both of those qualities.
Yeah, they're cute. Some of their expressions, I suppose, could be considered scary. On the other hand, I have two grandkids who are perfectly capable of standing by your bed and staring at you till the weight of their beady eyes wake you up.
Yeah.
And then, and until you've rolled over to that, you haven't lived.
Yeah. And Maria says, I think it's the mouth that gets me. Yeah, I see what you mean. Magical Mermaid says, mischievous.
Mischievous. Yes. Oh. So, yeah. Well, does anyone else have a question for us? We've got time for possibly one more.
One more question. Oh,
goodness. That was a very good impression of the Count.
Thank you.
Well, we don't seem to have another question. So would you close us out with a prayer, please?
Certainly. And thank you, everyone, for joining us. And Mary will be back next week. I'll probably be back next month, I think.
Sometime next month. We have not set a schedule yet.
And Divine Mother Goddess, Divine Father God, beloved ancestors, we thank you for all that you do for us in this life. We thank you for this walk we walk together, and we ask you to give us the insight that we need to navigate our present and future safely. Help us to have the feelings and the hunches and the divination that will guide us to make the right decisions and take the right actions as we go forward. Beloved Mother Goddess, beloved Father God, beloved ancestors, we thank you with great love. Knowing you're always with us, we thank you for your presence, and may you be blessed now and always. We thank you for your presence, and may you be blessed now and always.
Blessed be everyone. I'll see you next Thursday.